As you're watching this video, if you're having trouble following along, hit that caption button and it'll be a lot easier to read what I'm saying while you're listening at the same time. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you can see a lot more like it. Why do I have an accent? And why can't people understand me? It's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're stupid. You just grew up with a different set of language tools than English needs. And learning English means you're going to be using new tools. And using new tools is hard. Think of your brain like a toolbox. And when you're born, it's empty. Now, as you grow, you start putting stuff inside of your toolbox, like the kinds of food you like to eat, or the type of clothes you like to wear. There are more abstract things too, like how you feel about your place in the world, or the level of importance you put on school, or how you feel about elders, things like that. But most importantly for us would be your language. Now think of this screwdriver as your language. It's got all of the pronunciation rules, all of the grammar, all of the words, everything you need to communicate with all of the people around you. Now all your life, you've had this screwdriver. And even though it's really complicated and there are a lot of pieces, you're really good at it. You can use it without even thinking about it. But now you're living somewhere else. So what happens if they don't use screwdrivers or screws? Maybe they use something else entirely. So you move somewhere where nobody's using screwdrivers anymore. They're all using hammers and nails. And at first you could try to put the nail in with the screwdriver, but it's going to be really difficult. And mostly people are just going to be looking at you and wondering why you're doing what you're doing, and they won't understand it. So you can pick up a hammer, but at first it's kind of heavy and awkward and difficult to use and even harder to aim and get in the right spot. But eventually you'll get it and you'll be really good with it, and you can put the hammer inside your toolbox. And that's learning English. Now, this is a good analogy, but let's get a little bit more language specific. Here is a vowel chart for American English, and here is a vowel chart for Korean. If we overlay these two on top of each other, you can see which vowels are shared and which vowels are not. So if you speak Korean and start learning English, these are the vowels that are going to be pretty easy for you to use. Now, these are going to be the vowels that are going to be pretty difficult, just because you probably don't have that much practice using them. So what the human brain does is it finds the closest approximation and just uses that instead. So a word like bat becomes bet or bait. A word like bit becomes beat because this vowel goes to this. Or words like but become bought. Now, this is not your fault, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, really, this is your brain acting very smart and doing a very smart thing. It's recognizing the language patterns that you know and using the language tools that you have in order to be as effective as possible. This is the reason we're able to learn languages at all as human beings, because we can recognize patterns just like this. I mean, maybe you could even say that if you have a really heavy accent, it's because your brain is so good at recognizing patterns that it just doesn't want to give them up. Maybe. With study and practice, you can change the old and ineffective patterns that your brain is using and develop new patterns that are going to be more effective. And you do this by learning new phrases, learning new phonemes, learning new words, just daily practice. But most importantly, you do it by making new friends and having new life experiences, making new colleagues, having diverse conversations as often as possible. That is what's really going to train your brain to recognize new patterns and to create new patterns when you speak. But just remember, having an accent is not a bad thing. Everyone has an accent. And yes, it will be difficult for some people to understand you if they are unfamiliar with your accent. It gets easier for those people the more they listen to you speak. Just like your brain is using patterns when you speak, my brain is using patterns when I listen. So the more I hear you speak with an accent, the better I am going to get at understanding that accent. I hope this helps. Good luck learning English.